Hello everyone, in this video we are just going to interface SW420 vibration sensor in analog format with Raspberry Pi Pico W. Let's get started. And let's discuss in detail about the schematic diagram that we are going to build in the breadboard for visualizing the output in the hardware, and then we will move to the programming part. On the left you can see the Raspberry Pi Pico W, and on the right you can see the SW420 vibration sensor. And now we are just going to discuss about the schematic diagram that I am going to build for interfacing this particular sensor in analog format. So the connection is very simple. Here we are just going to connect the 31st pin or GP26 or ADC 0 pin of Raspberry Pi Pico to analog output terminal of SW420 vibration sensor, and ground I am just going to connect it to ground of Raspberry Pi Pico, and VCC I am just going to connect it to 3.3 volt out of Raspberry Pi Pico, that is terminal number 36 of Raspberry Pi Pico W. So that's all about the connection that I am going to make it in breadboard. And regarding the programming section, you can see there is a program written right over here in the screen, which is the script written for interfacing variable resistor or any analog sensor to Raspberry Pi Pico W. And we are just going to use the same script right over here, except that here I'm just going to make some alteration. That is, I'm just going to print like SW420 vibration value, and rest all the program remains the same. Here we are importing the ADC module. Here we are configuring and initializing the ADC with the channel 0, and here we are reading the 16-bit ADC raw data, and we are printing that onto the console or the Python shell right over here in the Tony IDE. And then we are producing a 200 millisecond delay for each read. This is a super loop or infinite loop which will keep on executing these 3 lines until the microcontroller is stopped or the Raspberry Pi Pico W is stopped running. I am just saving this script, and I am going to run the program by clicking on this particular icon in the Tony IDE or F5 in my keyboard. And in the breadboard you can see this is the schematic that I have built as we discussed, and in the cell you can see this is the data that I am receiving, which is around 300. And I try to vibrate this sensor element. You can see there is hike in value whenever I tap and vibrate the sensor element. So this is how you can detect the vibration data using the SW420 in analog format by interfacing this particular sensor with Raspberry Pi Pico W using the onboard or the internal ADC peripheral of Raspberry Pi Pico W. So this is the output that we got in the hardware. I hope you learned something new in this particular video. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.